Go.
All right, everybody. Welcome to our second installment of the Re-Evolution broadcast. I am Chris Rice, aka Rice Crypto, and my partner in crime.
My name is Phil Massey. I am the Modern Guru.
That's right. You can check us both out on YouTube. We have our own separate channels, and we've come together to do this Re-Evolution broadcast to talk about everything related to cryptocurrency and politics. But I think me and Phil have talked today that we're going to just deal with cryptocurrencies and talk about what's been going on with the market over the past couple of weeks, with people selling off, letting FUD get to them, and giving our advice to people, to our fellow hodlers, or as Phil likes to say, fellow hodlers.
Fucking hodl.
I guess before we get into it, like, I call it hodl, you call it hodl. So I was like potato.
Just the way I say it.
I don't know. I mean, I've heard it both ways, so I guess it's just however you prefer to say it.
I just think it sounds better my way. I don't know. Maybe it's just the way it comes out of my mouth. I have no idea, dude.
When you say it though, like, it reminds me of Hodor from Game of Thrones.
Exactly. It's a great show.
Hodor. Sorry, slow. Yeah. So yeah. It's been like, I guess over the past like at least 3 weeks, man. It's been like blood on the streets.
It's been a rough couple of weeks, my man. It has been a rough couple of weeks.
I'll definitely say that people who have just gotten into the space, I would say like sometime in December, are learning what the definition of hold on for dear life actually means.
If they got in, there's still a bunch of people that are out there that can't get their money in because of the exchanges. They're having problems still.
Yeah, but I mean, people were buying in, man, at 15, yep. 16, up
True.
to 19,000. And obviously those people are right now down. But, you know, in my opinion, I don't know about you, but I think in the long term, those people are going to be in the game. So
I do too.
I mean, ultimately, I believe in this technology.
If you pick the right coins.
True. But I guess in this particular instance, I want to focus on Bitcoin. Is Bitcoin that right coin?
I still believe it is the engine that drives the track. We've had a lot of fun these last 2 weeks, as we were kind of discussing, as you segued it into it. But with all the FUD, there are certain FUD that you can just laugh off. And like we spoke about earlier today, there's certain FUD that hits home. And it really can affect you emotionally. I have to be honest with everybody. I got hit hard today. One of my favorite people on YouTube is Richard Hart. And he did an interview with Ivan on Tech, who's he's pretty well known in the community.
He's a programmer. Yeah. I mean, he's actually, I will say he's probably one of the better YouTubers because, I mean, he's not necessarily going for that entertainment factor. He's actually giving educational information and a little bit higher of a level. He's like talking to people who know technology, which if you can relate to the technology aspect,
he's pretty solid.
He's a good dude. I think he was taking off a storm though, man. Before you get into
I don't think he was expecting that interview to go the way it did. I thought he handled it really well.
He did
he handled it well. So
he did. I think that Richard Hart made him think though.
He made what? Sorry.
I think he made him think.
Yeah.
I think, because he's kind of, Ivan, if I'm not mistaken, is in Sweden or something like that. So he's in
He's Belarus, I believe.
Which country is that?
It's one of the former Soviet bloc states.
Okay. For some reason, I thought he was living in Sweden. I don't know, but
maybe I misheard you. I know he's from Belarus. I don't know now, but.
So, anyways, he's in an isolated area.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't encounter people like Richard Hart.
No.
So, I'm kind of glad that you got to see this, like, patriot for the blockchain come up against somebody who's a little bit more of a realist now. We can get into the realism now, but I just thought that was it was kind of cool seeing those two different worlds.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it just, like we were talking about it, like it really affected me today. And I like to think I have a pretty thick armor, when it comes to FUD. And when it comes to just general tomfoolery that goes on the internet, I'm a pretty skeptical person. I always have been. I wouldn't say I'm like overall negative, but I am skeptical about what I see, when I read, what I hear, because I know there is so much nonsense out in the world.
Right.
But Richard Hart, like I said, he's one of my favorite people. I love his channel. I love the things he's talked about. His support has been just superior for Bitcoin, for the technology, for what he envisioned it doing in the future. He's been an investor, I believe, since 2011. And he made a lot of money off Bitcoin too. So when I was watching this video today, I mean, it really hammered me to hear him say that he was no longer going to be a Bitcoin maximalist, and he was jumping off the train, and he was going to just go focus on his own ICO that he's been working on the side for about a year.
Right.
So he was going to directly focus all of his, all of his time on moving forward. And he basically said Bitcoin was dead. I think that's the words he used. But yeah, it was emotional for me a little bit, because I've been watching this show, and I how much I care about Bitcoin. I care about cryptocurrencies, and for me, it's not. A lot of people are only considered about their finances and their investments, monetary value. I'm not. Like, I care. I'm not. I care about where my money situation is. I care about my investments making money, but that is not numero uno when it comes to, why I got into all this. My main reasons for getting into all this, like I said in our last interview that we did, is I wanted to see the world change. I wanted to see the banksters, put on notice. I wanted our society to start having solid money, whatever it may be, internet monies, whatever medium was going to be used to clean up the disaster that is global economics with the central banks.
Right.
It's today scared me, because someone that I had really looked up to kind of knocked me off that pedestal a little bit, and I want to see cryptocurrency succeed. Before my investments could go down to nothing, and I would still be okay with it if I saw cryptocurrency succeed in taking down the banksters. And I mean that 100%, and I will stand by that forever. It's recorded right here. I will post it.
No, I feel you, man. And I'm in complete agreement, man. I want to see these banks be brought down. I want to see what we consider to be the banking industry and central banks to change. Because I don't see us being able to bring an end to banks, but we can change how the banking system works and work towards ending it. Make those steps. And as far as cryptocurrency, man, I definitely see its future value like you. I'm not in this for the greed factor. And anybody who's getting in this for the greed factor, you're going to lose. Because
you need the right mentality for this.
Exactly. And, whether Bitcoin remains the dominant cryptocurrency or not, the overall picture is cryptocurrency is going to be the creative destruction. It changes the banking and fiat industry as we know it. This is going to be our opportunity for us to be able to get away from third parties, the banks, the governments, from controlling our monetary systems.
Yeah, and let me be clear and say one thing. Like, I know in all markets there's going to be speculation. There's going to be speculators who are only in it for money. I don't have a problem with that. I understand that whole dichotomy. If that's what you want to do, then that's fine. But if it starts to threaten the thing that I love and I care about, I am going to hammer it. I am going to hammer these scammers. I'm going to hammer these ICOs with every ounce of ability and whatever avenues I can take to do so. I just don't want to see the speculators bring down a beautiful thing.
Well, we have that opportunity, man. But with us doing our own separate YouTube channels and coming together, we could talk about these scams and keep people away and start to encourage people to educate themselves, so they're not being greedy, that they're not feeding into the green-eyed monster, and that they're being smart and they're being educated about their decisions they're making. Because, obviously the FOMO factor, the fear of missing out, because people are seeing some coin getting some gain. But if you don't really research the coin, like a lot of people had invested into Tron, TRX.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, I've done a little bit of research, not an entirely great deal, but enough of the research I did didn't make me want to continue the research.
No.
It just seemed like crap. This is what everybody's calling a shit coin.
Yeah.
That's a definition of a shit coin.
So let's define scam. So scams are BitConnect. Okay, we know that's a scam. That's MLM.
There's ICOs though too. Devor that was an ICO that's just now coming out to be a scam. Jason Devor was talking about that.
Yeah, but a shit coin is something that a lot of people in the industry would call something that comes out and it doesn't have good technology. It doesn't have a good development team. It doesn't have a good business plan. But what they do have, which is excellent, is massive marketing and advertising.
And that's Tron. Tron has great marketing, no development.
They have all the marketing in the world out there, and these guys know what they're doing. This is their careers. They pay big money from these ICOs when they take in all the money, investors' money. They pay these advertising firms big time dollars to go out there and make sure they catch you and ensnare you in these little pump and dumps.
Right. No, you're right, man. And, rule number one, I'll tell people that I've learned, especially just recently, and this is actually from watching Ivan on Tech, is check their GitHub.
Yeah.
That's the first thing you should do is check their GitHub. I mean, I'm not a tech person or a code person, but their GitHub is where all the development is done. It's open source and everything should be showing. So if you start looking, and if you don't know anything about it, like myself, look at an established coin, look at their GitHub, and then compare. Look at a couple different established coins so you can get an idea of what you're supposed to be looking for. So you can see the lack of information and just how it's just basically crap being put together just to make it look like they have actual substance when they have nothing.
Exactly. That's what a shit coin is.
Right.
And another term people use for shitcoin, or a definition, is maybe they're not advertising like nuts and like Tron was, but they don't have a viable technology. It's not going to fit in, or they're well behind those that are already completely established. But in their papers, they're going to say how they're going to improve on this and they're going to improve on that. But the numbers don't add up technically. And those are the hard ones for people. Because when you're if you're looking at Ethereum versus EOS, I believe it's EOS, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
EOS. But
someone like me, like I don't have a developer background. I don't have a techie background. So when they're going through all the mumbo jumbo, the things that I don't understand personally, it's hard for me to pick out, which one is legit here, or if this new EOS that's coming out that's supposed to compete with Ethereum, are they actually going to be able to compete with Ethereum? Is their tech good? Are they improving on a bunch of things? I don't know those. So I have to rely on people that I trust in the community in order to tell me, give me legitimate information in regards to those aspects. So.
No, it makes total sense. I'm glad you brought that up, because that was something I wanted to talk about, was the importance of community. The importance of having people that can help to, let you know some information that you may not have heard about or had a chance to look into. I mean, this is how that we're able to help all of us as a group to be able to, come up on the ladder.
I agree. And that's so important. It really is for all of us.
It is. I mean, and there's a lot of ways you can do that. And I will say, like before, there's a lot of ways you can pay to do that, but there's a lot of ways you can do that for free. If you got money to blow, God bless you. Okay, that's great. But there's a lot of people who don't have money to blow. There's a lot of Facebook groups you can join. There's a lot of Telegram groups you can join for free. Mm-hmm. So it's not like you have to pay for this information. It's just a matter of getting to know people and network and start to build relationships with people. Because since I've come to know Phil's, Phil's going to be able to help me out. I know a lot in the future with some of my trading, because he knows a lot more of things that I don't know. And, I keep an eye on some things that he doesn't keep an eye on, but he's really a lot better on the technical aspect. And that's where, as a friend of Phil's, I'm going to rely upon him to try to help purvey some information to me and help me out. And that's what we're supposed to do as a whole, as a community. And that's why both of us are doing our YouTube channels.
Yeah, and the thing with you is you're wired in, man. I mean, whenever I talk to you, you got something new that you're talking about that I hadn't heard of yet. And I
Right.
look into it, and it's, it's like, wow, all right, cool. I mean, thanks for, dropping that line on there, because you're definitely wired in. You got your stuff covered, all your bases covered. So
it's really important, man, because even though we talk about taking the emotion out of trading and things like that, when you come down to it, it's a small percentage of people who actually do that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the reason why you have a lot of that volatility, is because of that emotion coming into play and people not being logical and just thinking, oh, this is the bottom, I got to get out.
Yeah.
And like currently right now, I mean, I can't say what money's coming in, but I can say that as quick as people are selling, people are buying. And the price ranges of the highs and lows of Bitcoin are getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And where you talk about Richard Hart, me and you are both fans of Cliff High. And Cliff High has a completely different outlook than what Richard Hart has. I follow
Richard has now. 2 weeks
currently.
That was a complete different outlook, but
I check out some Tone Vays stuff. Tone Vays not thinking that Bitcoin's not going to go back above the highs it's had before. He's definitely positive about Bitcoin going above the current all-time highs, which would be in conflict of Richard Hart's views. So I think Richard Hart is a minority, honestly, or he's the most smartest person in the world.
Well, he's a brilliant guy. I just think that what I saw today is I think I saw his true colors today. And maybe it's because he's an emotional guy and he lost a lot of money when Bitcoin fell. And he did. I mean, he lost a lot of money if he didn't sell up top. I mean, he basically started crying in the interview today. And I'm not making fun of him for that at all.
Right.
I'm emotional. But I thought I saw his true colors today. And I think after I had some time to reflect on everything and I watched the video again, I think I saw him put what we kind of started off with this video talking about, is he put his investment, his money, ahead of his dream and all the wonderful things that he has been talking about for the last, the last 7 years. Money ultimately won out and his desire for it. And that's a trap that human beings can fall into.
Agreed.
And he's his own man. He can do whatever he wants. But for me, I lost a lot of respect for him in that aspect, because I had aligned in a lot of ways, just like he had, about Bitcoin and my faith in it and why it was the best and why it was going to win out ultimately. You got to weather these storms. And I understand his problems and his issues with these ICOs, and they're all stealing market cap away. All these new investors are coming into the markets based on these advertising schemes, which we discussed earlier, and they're just funneling money into these shit coins. And it's just robbing Bitcoin and other cryptos as well, some of the bigger ones, of what should rightfully be their market cap, based on the fact that their technology and those coins are so far superior to these things that people are throwing money in. But the issue we have is, if somebody looks at the price of Bitcoin right now, and they, I think it's like 8,000 or right around there right now, they see that it has to go to $16,000 again in order for them to make
100%.
Well, they see something that's 8 cents right now. They see an ad, people just hyping it up. They throw all their money into that, and that coin can pump all the way to 45 cents. Let's take a look at Ripple. Ripple we've discussed this in our prior video.
Right.
Ripple was trading at 21 cents, and it was ranging from 21 to 26 for a 6-month period.
Mm-hmm.
That has absolutely no use case. That token is not being used. It will do you nothing as an investor.
Right.
But the banks use the technology. which are not directly correlated with the token. But that coin rose to the second biggest market cap. And it has no use. Zero.
And it's not a cryptocurrency.
It's not a cryptocurrency.
Right.
It was number 2 market cap. What were the reasons? Yeah, we had a lot of dumb investors that saw some ads.
But
we also had a bunch of people that are involved in the cryptocurrency market that aren't in it for cryptocurrencies.
They're in for the profit, the gain.
In it for the profits and the profits alone, and they don't care about anything else. And that part about it that Richard talked about today, I agree with him. But I think that we need to do more to educate people and help people make better decisions about this, or make them at least understand that they have a choice to make moving forward. Are you going to play in pump and dumps? Or are you actually going to sit this fucking hodl and make your money over time and let it grow? We're not even really being adopted yet. Like, you got to have patience. You can't just run into a market, make 10%, drop 10%, and then that's it. I'm done. I don't want any part of this anymore.
Right.
That's your fault for what you did, that you're stressing yourself out. So,
but I mean, that really just comes down to greed, man.
Yeah, it's greed.
Yeah, obviously. So I mean, if you just if you are not a greedy person and you can set the greed aside, in the long term, you're going to make money, even if you're not trading. If you just hodling these coins, it's what's great in this, man, is we're going to start weeding out the people who believe in the technology versus the people who want to profit on technology.
And it's our job to educate people, which is what me and you are trying to do, brother, for all the new people that come in. We want them to make good decisions. We want them to understand what each cryptocurrency is, what its use cases are. We'll get to that point with them, but it's really trying to get everyone to have the right mindset when they enter into this brave new world.
Right.
And they're in it for the long run, for the long term, and believe in what we're doing. And if we can do that, then we're going to be fine.
Well, I mean, I think, and just this, in my opinion, I think with the way that the world is going, people are looking for an alternative, and people are starting to wake up to the realities of what's happening. And like you said, we started this channel for a reason. So, I just want to let everybody know that you can reach out to both of us individually. We're both on Facebook, on YouTube, comment, email, instant message us. We're both available. We want to help people out as much as possible. We definitely want to make sure that you're not making the wrong decisions, and we want to encourage you to make sure you're being smart and that you're educating yourself, because just because we're telling you something doesn't mean that this is exactly how it is. And you got to be careful, and especially here on YouTube, you've got such a small market that if somebody wanted to influence a coin, to give an example, I love Cliff High, but Vertasium and Populous, Populous went up. Cliff High did a string of interviews over last weekend.
Yes, he did.
After those interviews, Populous went up like crazy.
Sure did.
Is it because Cliff High talked about Populous and people wanted to buy it because Cliff High believes in it? Or is this, I don't know what to believe in that aspect, So you got to be careful about pump and dumpers. I'm not saying Cliff High is a pump and dumper at all. I'm just saying you can see how somebody can have influence.
Oh, he has tremendous amounts of influence, and anyone who doesn't see that is blind.
And other people have influence.
I will not lie to anybody. I am a straight shooter. I will tell you exactly what I think. And there was nothing that Populous came out with to make me see why it rose 40%.
I agree.
As far as tech or anything else.
So I think that gain was because of that weekend ride of Cliff High doing interviews talking about Populous, and everybody's like, Cliff High is the man, so we're going to invest in some Populous. And that was the only reason you had all this money going into it. Right.
And Populous it's a pretty solid token.
Right. Not saying anything negative about Populous.
Right. I own some, but it's not.
It's just giving an example about how people can have that much of an impact on these coins.
Sure can.
Which is the reason why people need to be smart about educating themselves behind that technology. Because not every, like we're talking about, How do you know when a coin like OMG and Quantum were coming out in an ICO stage, they weren't going to be what other ICOs who had turned out to be just crap shit coins like Tron would be? How do you know that? You know, that's where you start to look at the developers. You start to look at the people who are on the team, and you start to research, you know, and see if these people have been involved. When you talked about EOS, I can understand, you know, how is EOS going to be able to do these things? And in my personal opinion, the reason why I believe in EOS is because as a developer and creator, Dan Larimer with the Steam coin, he's proven himself.
Yeah, and let me be clear. I wasn't bashing EOS. I just
I
used that as
know,
an example.
I know.
Competing.
But that's where I was using the example too, where you can look behind the technology behind the team of the coin. Because if you would go and research EOS, you would see Dan Larimer's on there, and then and a slew of other people. But if you want to research about Dan Larimer, you'll see he's got a past track record.
Yep.
When you start researching about these developers, if you don't find out anything about them, speaking of, I just heard, I just had a news thing come through Cointelegraph, man, about this new ICO coming out that I'm actually going to be pumping personally. It's called the Filthy Coin.
Yeah, you like that one from earlier?
Yeah, man. It's supposed to be designed to reverse global warming.
We are going to reverse global warming.
Oh, is this your shit coin?
Yes, it is actually.
The Filthy
I have
Coin.
my advertising people out. They're ready to go right now. Got a lot of things in the works. Sorry, that's why I haven't been doing a lot of videos lately. We've been really working on the technology to reverse a lot of different things that are destroying the world.
I'm all about reversing things.
Yeah, I just can't wait to get all your money. Wait, excuse me. I'm sorry.
We need your investments. Oh, because I'm working with you, dude.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot.
Yeah.
But you signed that non-disclosure, so.
I did, but who cares?
Yeah, right.
You know. So yeah, send us your Ethereum, because this is an ERC20 token that we're going to launch. It's going to be actually a 20-year long ICO launch.
Actually, don't send me Ethereum. I'll put my thing down here for Litecoin. You can just put your Litecoin. I collect. Yep.
We don't have tokens. Like, we got to use ERC20 tokens, man. So Charlie Lee, if you're watching this, man, come out with your ICOs on the Litecoin network so that we can launch the Filthy Coin.
Absolutely, Charlie.
We want to be coin number 2 on the Litecoin network, on the blockchain.
I can stop the sun from destroying the earth. I got a lot of big plans.
We also got to catch all the gold from the sunburst too.
Yeah, right. The ribbon. That was hilarious when I read that the other day.
You know, in times like these, man, you guys need to have fun.
Oh yeah.
You know, when there's not much activity on this chart and there's not much that you can do, and you're just kind of sad about where the state of affairs happen to be at, you need to change your mindset and put yourself in a better place. You know, when you know there's no point in checking it out, just enjoy life. Just pay attention to your family. If you don't have family or friends, you know, research. But don't let the FUD, you know, don't let it get to you, man. Cut that emotion out.
You can add me on Facebook. I'll be your friend if you don't have any friends.
How do we find you on Facebook?
Philip Anthony.
Just Philip Anthony. And how do you spell that?
1 L.
Exactly.
Philip Anthony.
That's what threw me through a loop. He's
sorry about that.
So that's really like fill up.
Philip.
Well, no, Philip is with 2 L's.
Dude, I don't know. They named me after the king of Macedon, who was Alexander the Great's father.
Awesome.
Yeah, his name was Philip. He spelled it with 1 L. The French spell it with 2. The Greeks and Macedonians spelled it with 1 L.
You can find me.
There's a history lesson on my name if anyone actually really gives a shit.
That's what's up.
Hmm?
You can find me on Facebook at Chris Rice. DW is my personal. And I got my Digital Wealth site on there, and that's Facebook Digital Wealth USA. So you can check us both out and hit us up, because we definitely want to help you guys out, man. This is the whole reason why we're doing this, why we're getting involved in YouTube. We want to make sure that we're giving good information to people to make sure we're steering them in a better direction, because we see the future. And dude, do you see the future?
I hope I see my vision for the future is with those truth glasses right there, man.
No, man, the future's so bright.
Okay.
It's
Yeah,
so bright. I gotta wear shades.
good deal. Yeah, I mean, the future's bright. I agree with that.
No, it
Hopefully,
totally is, man.
Litecoin's will be at the forefront for me. Hopefully,
For me too, man. I mean, that's like, I mean, it's like it's one of my larger percentages of my portfolio. So I mean, I definitely believe in the technology behind it, and I'm on a waiting list for Light Pay.
oh,
I
did you
can,
get on that?
yeah, yeah. I
I
mean,
still haven't done that yet.
I have my BitPay card, so I mean, but I'm still kind of confused. I got to look into it because I thought BitPay was connected with this European company that was doing all the cryptocurrency Visa cards that had their contract ended with Visa.
Mm.
So I wasn't sure if BitPay was affected. So far, I think people are still using it in some factor because actually you can, I guess, as a merchant, bypass the whole system and not actually have a credit card as long as you have your credit card number.
Mm.
Because just in case people don't know this, the Square Cash App is now adding Bitcoin as an option for buy and sell. So you don't have to go just do Coinbase. I mean, obviously we got Robinhood is going to be adding this. I've heard Bittrex is going to start doing USD deposits.
That's what their CEO said. He didn't give a time frame though.
But the Square app is doing Bitcoin now. So I'm going to do a video on that this week, and they've got like a little $5 invite a friend kind of thing, sort of like the $10 invite a friend with Coinbase.
Mm-hmm.
But the idea is that you can you have a credit card through the Square app, and you don't necessarily have to order the physical credit card, but you have a credit card number, an expiration date, and all that.
Just
stuff.
out of curiosity, how long is the waiting list on LightPay?
It didn't give me a specific number. It just added me to the list.
Hmm.
It wasn't like I think Robinhood had a counter. I know that it had gotten over 1 million for their waiting list, but
really, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, the Robinhood was like in less than a week time, they had over 1 million people sign up for the cryptocurrencies, which was launching this month here in February. And it was, I don't have the news article in front of me, but it was only 5 states that they're launching in initially. And then as they become compliant in all the other states is when they'll announce that they're allowing it there. Now, I do know the Square app, they're not selling to all the states. I think there's like 3 or 4 states that they don't sell cryptocurrencies to. And for whatever reason, the state of Hawaii does not allow cryptocurrency purchases. Like, I don't know what it is with the state government there, but I got a friend of mine that lives on the island. I forget the name of it, where Honolulu is. And it's like Oahu or something like that. But he lives on that island, and he's from Charlotte, North Carolina originally. And he had set up his bank account and purchased some Bitcoin and bought Bitcoin. Like, it went through, or when he tried to set it up, it got blocked. It got like the whole thing got blocked. So I came up with this awesome idea to use, like I went ahead and set up an email address here in North Carolina and set up a Coinbase with him based off of me doing it on my computer here at this location. Because sometimes things are based off of your location.
Right. I got you.
So once we did all that, then he attached his bank card to it. He bought some Bitcoin, and it went through. But I guess as soon as it caught up that it was a Hawaiian bank, they actually pulled his Bitcoin out of his bank, out of his Coinbase, and then redeposited the money back in.
What the hell's going on in Hawaii, man? Like,
I don't know.
False nuclear missile incoming attacks. They won't allow you to do what you want with your own money in your bank account. Like, it's getting crazy out there.
Some of it has to do with the United States government, and I think ultimately, if you really want to talk to the Hawaiian citizens, I don't think they want to be a part of America. And I think that's like really what it kind of comes down to. Like, if you talk to a lot of those native Hawaiian people, they're not very patriotic to America. It's not a benefit for them. Like, as an island, for them to have become a state at this point, like right now, if you look at the economy of Puerto Rico, if Puerto Rico was to become a state, it would put their state in more economic turmoil than it would to leave it alone the way it is.
Whoever is pushing for the people inside Puerto Rico that are pushing for them to become a state, they're an imbecile.
Yeah, well, it's gonna make it worse for them.
They are a tax haven for American corporations to move there right now and to stimulate their economy. Because
I know, man, you just gave away the filthy coin hideout.
Yeah, dude.
We're moving to Puerto Rico.
As soon as they rebuild after that brutal hurricane, then I'll set up shop down in San Juan.
Yeah, because like the taxes are super cheap if we live there.
Peter Schiff went down there. He moved.
A lot of people are doing it, man. A lot of people who are smart, and you don't have to live there permanently.
Yeah.
I think it's like 4 or 5 months of the year.
Yeah, as long as a hurricane doesn't come through, it's pretty awesome.
Well, when the hurricane comes through, you can get on your private jet and like come back here to the United States.
Yeah. I want to go to Acapulco or Costa Rica.
I want to go to Anarchapulco.
Yeah, no doubt.
I really do. Actually, speaking of like that, just on a quick note, I got to say something really cool about Jeff Berwick, because somebody who I know who's a fellow YouTuber wanted to go to Anarchapulco, and he'd actually been reaching out to Jeff Berwick, but I guess he's a busy dude. People hitting him up, which I understand, and he never really got anywhere. And he met him down at the Miami convention and talked to him face to face. I guess, explained the situation, and he gave him a free ticket to go.
Wow. Nice.
So yeah, that's Ken Bozak, by the way. So I thought it was really cool that he did that.
Lucky for Ken.
Well, yeah,
I was trying to go, man, but I couldn't find one single person that wanted to go with me for the dates. So I'm not going.
You never asked me, man.
Shit, you want to go?
I mean, I've been wanting to go. I just can't afford it. That's been my problem. One, it's like my monetary situation, and then school. I mean, I could work out the school thing, but it was just like really my finances.
Let's put it this way: if Litecoin jumps to 1,000 in the next week or week and a half,
it's sold out.
Don't worry, bro. I got you.
I feel you, man. It's totally sold out, though. We can still go down there and chill.
Yeah.
That is crazy to think, though. I don't know how. I think it's been going on for 4 or 5 years, and every year it's increased. And this year it's sold out, which is like amazing to think about that, man.
Yeah, Ron Paul's going to be the head speaker.
They've got so much going on there, man. It's so much diversity. And one of the things that I respect that they're doing is they're going to be having, like, I guess they're going to have different developers from the Bitcoin Cash and the Bitcoin Core team there. So
yeah,
we can have like
Veer's going to have a battle this year down there. I can't wait to see the drama unfold there.
Jimmy Song will be there.
Yeah.
Mark Passio will be there. Something else that I think would be cool that I was personally hoping to be able to go and take advantage of is I know they're going to be doing like a lot of like alternate healing kind of things, and I guess some kind of party and stuff that can be considered spiritual. I know
what you're talking about.
Well, I mean, they're going to be doing some DMT and some ayahuasca, and they're going to be having like shamans that are going to be guiding it, which I think if you're going to do something like that, do it responsibly and make sure you're doing it, with
Is Tijo going?
Actually, I just talked to Tio a little bit ago, and Arcane Bear is going to be one of the sponsors for Anarchapulco. So he's supposed to be there, yeah.
Good times, yeah. That's going to be a fun event.
Everybody's going to be there, man. That's why I wanted to be there. It's like going to be like, not only is it going to be like so much wealth of information, but it's going to be like a great networking event. I mean, you're going to have anarchists, you're going to have libertarians, you're going to have crypto enthusiasts.
Ron Paul, he's my hero.
Dude, Ron Paul's so awesome. So. Since you mentioned him, I didn't follow a whole lot. I just saw something over the weekend about where the Libertarian Party had apparently like screwed him over. Like he was supposed to speak at their convention, and they've got somebody else speaking in his place, which I thought was
about that. I'm gonna have to look that up and see what was going on.
Yeah, I saw like where a lot of people were talking about division amongst the Libertarian Party, and then other people are like, well, just let's not talk about the division. Let's just come together. And unfortunately, with politics, everything seems to be kind of become corrupt.
One of the reasons why I didn't vote for Gary Johnson is because I didn't like him as a candidate. Ron Paul was so much of a better candidate in so many different ways. Ron Paul's biggest weakness was his speaking ability. He kind of repeated himself quite a bit when he was up at a podium. And
Right.
if you watch videos of him when he was 40 speaking in Congress, it was a lot different. He's an
Yeah,
older man now. I mean, that happens with age. It's going to happen to all of us. But I didn't vote for Gary Johnson. I voted for Trump because I didn't like Gary Johnson's speaking ability either. I didn't like a lot of the things that he talked about on the campaign as well. So yeah, there's infighting in the Libertarian Party, but
now, speaking of that, though, I did get an email back from Adam Kokesh's press secretary. I'm supposed to talk to him tomorrow, and they give me a go for an interview, man. I get to do an interview.
Oh, really? That's
with
awesome.
Adam Kokesh.
Congratulations.
In case people are unaware who Adam Kokesh is, he's running for the not president in 2020. He's actually right now apparently the leading candidate for the Libertarian Party.
Is he out of jail yet?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Which I plan on trying to talk to him about that. I watched something briefly on Friday where he had made an announcement, and I got to look a little bit more into it, but he was talking about bringing blockchain technology to the Libertarian Party. And I think he was talking, I'm not 100% sure if they're talking about creating an ICO to go towards like the Libertarian Party, which would be a kind of a cool idea if you think about it. But I think there was something to that effect that I was gathering. It was like they were going to that or they were just going to encourage cryptocurrencies as a way to be able to donate to the Libertarian Party and towards Adam Kokesh's campaign if he gets that nomination.
Yeah, Adam's always been an interesting guy. I like Adam.
Yeah, and you asked me, I think, no, another friend of mine asked me if he was pro cryptocurrency. And I know he's on Steam It and D2, and he's like a proponent for freedom. So, like the idea of decentralized, he loves. But when it comes down,
Adam hates bankers with a passion. So yeah. I'm pretty sure that he is pro crypto.
He is.
The thing about Adam is, he's always been wild, if you will, but he actually practices what he preaches.
But he's wild. He's wild in a smart way. I mean, like,
right.
Like
the one incident, I don't know, but yeah.
Which incident are you talking about?
The one where they broke down his door and
right.
And, yeah,
that's a little different.
Yeah, I mean, and the one with the Lincoln Memorial. I mean, he practices what he preaches, and you got to respect that above all. And I respect him. I think he's a good dude. I think I like a lot of it he has to say about a variety of topics.
I do too. I think if he can get the media attention, he can make people think.
Yeah.
And I think that of all the people in the Libertarian Party, I mean, like Ron Paul's a great dude, but he's an old dude. He doesn't, someone like Adam Kokesh could visually appeal to people to get their attention enough to where whether or not they're going to vote Libertarian or not, they're going to at least know who Adam Kokesh was, and they're going to listen to what he says because he is smart about it. He is wild, but he's smart.
Yeah, he's a smart guy, no question.
And when you say he practices what he preaches, when he uses those military skills, he could talk somebody down peacefully. And at the same time, he knows how to provoke people too.
Yes, he does.
So, it would be interesting to see somebody like him to be able to be our president.
It'd be entertaining to watch him on the campaign trail. That's what I always said. As I just give me 20 minutes at a podium. When during the previous election cycle with Trump and Hillary on the stage, give me 20 minutes. Oh, would I have fun?
Well, you know what? We can use some of the funds we raised from the Filthy Coin to go towards your election.
If I make billions off the Filthy Coin, I promise you I will run for office.
Maybe we can.
I don't think anybody will ever elect me because of the scam I just ran through. But
it's not a scam, man. It's not a scam.
Dude, if Hillary and Trump can vie for the presidential office, so can I with the Filthy Coin in my background.
Oh, hell yeah.
That way.
Well, that just kind of sums it all up because, like the one thing all that has in common is it's all filthy.
Absolutely. But
so filthy.
Not with a PH. It's an F, filthy.
That's right. So you can find him on Facebook, FIL.
Right.
Yeah. So, is there anything that you want to add to the people who are checking this out, like who are freaking out about the market and what's going on right now with the prices.
Look, guys, I feel it too. I was hurting today. I've been hurting for 2 weeks, but I handled it all really well until today. Today was a bad day. But you do that mentally. If you're a strong person, you look at the facts, you analyze the situation, you block out your emotions. Once you can block out your emotions, you can see things a little bit more clearly. And I still have reservations about a lot of things, but I am super pro cryptocurrency, still am. And as soon as we get done with this interview, brother, my direct deposit will be coming into my bank account, and I will be buying
Some more Litecoin.
more Litecoin. Yep.
More Litecoin.
I'm going to buy some OMG today, too. I'm buying a little more OMG. I like that price where it's at right now for what it's going to do this year. So, but like I said, that's just what I'm doing with my money. You should handle your own money responsibly.
Because we are not what?
I am no financial advisor.
I am not either.
No.
We don't offer any kind of financial advice. We just try to help people out, man. We're just good people sharing the good news.
Yeah, and we're gonna have hopefully some good news. If Cliff High is right, we got another week, 10 days before we should start seeing some.
He wasn't given a specific date. He was trying to say second, third week.
I think he said the middle of February was when we'll see that rise back up to 13,888 or 13.
Which would be like Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I mean, right around there. None of this is ever 100% accurate to the
right.
It's hopefully we'll start seeing a run back northwards because let's face it, we're all sick and tired right now of the sideways action that we're all down.
Well, I mean, we just saw a little run up in Litecoin, and that LightPay announcement was made. So, and that was just excitement because it was just a little news thing. So once we get like the whole market, once we get everything waking up a little bit.
I truly believe that Charlie Lee has some things he's held back. Some very good news.
I do too.
Am I right? I don't know. But I've been following Charlie Lee for a while. So like I know how he operates, and he's not a pumper.
He's not, but he also respects Bitcoin, man. So yeah. I think he's also in part of this. He's waiting for Bitcoin to go up a little bit too.
I don't even own any Bitcoin right now, but I respect the hell out of Bitcoin. I got out of Bitcoin because of all the drama that was going on and all these damn forks. Like I wanted to see what was going to transpire. I wanted to watch watch all these events very closely. And I also took in a lot of information from both sides of the equation. And, I think I'm going to get back into Bitcoin again. I don't know when, but I'm going to keep my eyes glued to, what's transpiring and moving forward, the same as I've been doing. So, but you got to respect Bitcoin. It was the first, it started all this. If we see the future that we all hope and dream for, it was because of Bitcoin. And for these people to shit all over it like they are, you're no longer someone that I respect. And
I agree, man. Which puts Richard Hart right in that category.
And maybe he'll change his tune again. Maybe it'll go up and it'll be like, I was using reverse psychology here.
That's what I was telling you. I was hoping because I know you love Richard Hart and I like him, but I mean, I wasn't completely happy about what he said. And especially with as many people who were watching it live. I know at one point they had over 4,000 viewers, and there's going to be plenty of people watching it. The stream of it. So, I mean,
yeah. And he's an extremely brilliant guy, but just because you're highly intelligent does not mean that you don't succumb to bad decision-making or emotional issues when you have certain roadblocks that hit you in your life. And I know the dude lost a lot of money, way more money than I've lost over the last 2 weeks. So,
but when you talk about losing money, Phil, I mean, when you talk about it logically, okay, when you got involved, how much did you pay for what you had? Are you in the negative, or are you just down for the month? Are you still up overall?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, is Richard Hart still up overall?
Without question.
Okay, so he needs to quit his
If
bitching.
he is
Okay,
truthful,
that's greedy though. I'm just saying, if you're up overall and you're not in a negative from where you started from, that's the problem. You know, I mean, yes, we are currently down about 65% roughly in Bitcoin and Litecoin since about a month ago. But since me and you got involved, we're a lot more up than when we are currently down for the past 30 days. So, I mean, when you take that in perspective, that's why we encourage people to hodl these coins. Because in the long term, just because we might be down 65% for the past 30 days, me and Phil are not in the negative because we were smart and we educated ourselves. That's the whole point. You know, and I just want
to buy the dips. We don't buy the candles, the green candles. So like a lot of people, they get wind, they got FOMO, fear of missing out, and they, buy something at its all-time high. And then all of a sudden, we have a correction or a pullback. And then, they're like, oh my God, the world's ending. This is all, no, you hodl. That's what you do. You hodl because 1% of the world is in this right now. 1%. And we've got a bunch of Wall Streeters and hedge funders that can't get in legally because they're not credit rated. We have there's a bunch of litany of things that are going on still why the full amount of money isn't in. Plus, Wall Street traders have seen what's happened over the last 2 weeks. So maybe they're trying to get a grip on the market right now. So everyone just relax, hodl. Let's see what happens. Don't put your life savings into cryptocurrencies. Only put in the money that you can afford to lose. And there's a reason why we say that. And when I say it, why everybody says it, that's an honest person with you. It's because during these pullbacks, during these drawbacks, you don't miss paying rent. You don't miss paying your car payment. Like, don't be stupid. If you're brand new to these markets, only take a small portion of what you're willing to lose and start that way and make a couple trades. Learn about how the exchanges work. Learn how to do the buy and sell orders. If you have questions, message me and Chris. Message someone that you trust, that that's already in, that got you in the first place. Have them help you. I have no problem doing that. I've done that with a lot of people over the last 4 months, and I enjoy it. Sometimes it's a little annoying, but I enjoy it overall to help people. So that's all I have to say.
Definitely, I want to say that you do not get involved in trading cryptocurrency if you don't know what the hell you're doing.
Do not day trade.
You can and you can educate yourself by researching. There are also going to be courses and things like that available, and I've got a trading mentor that I'm going to be doing an interview with soon that does do a course if people are interested in spending the money and taking the time to go that route. Because I do understand that not everybody has a lot of time to be able to put into the research. Mm-hmm. That's where the community can kind of come into play. If you've got the money, there are ways of being able to hire people. There are jokes like Ty Lopez, who on YouTube, he has this podcast. I got to tell you something, everybody. If you would have invested,
that guy gives me a headache, dude.
If you would have invested $100 in crypto Bitcoin, you can't even say the word.
Who's the guy that does like the internet marketing thing? It's not cryptos. It's something about how you can, go in on like Walmart's website or something.
Yeah, but this dude spent all this money, man, like literally to meet it was like he paid people in the cryptocurrency space to be on his podcast.
Yeah, so he rented those houses.
Oh, he's a joke.
He rented the cars. He rented the house. They found the house that he rented for the weekend to do these videos. And he like passes it off as it's like his, and he has millions of dollars of artwork. And it's like, dude, you rented the house.
People are joining those kind of
fucking Lamborghinis in the garage. You rented. You're a liar. You're a scumbag. All of you guys. Like, dude, I'm sitting in a basement, in 40 degrees right now. I find artwork right over here. Like, I'm not trying to pretend that I'm some big shot that's gonna, increase your overall portfolio by 600% by the 2018. Just sign up for my.
I'm doing it by 1,200% in just 3 days. So I don't know what you're
Exactly.
talking about.
But buy the filthy coin. Don't forget.
That's
I'll be
long
launching.
term.
That's long
That's
term.
long
Number
term.
one, filthy coin.
Yeah,
We're
we're
gonna stop global warming.
You guys got to definitely educate yourself out there, because just because somebody says they think they know something doesn't mean they know it. Okay, fact check me and Phil. Okay,
Please, if I'm
critical
wrong
think.
about something, put it in the comments so I don't ever make that mistake again. I always say that.
Oh, and speaking of comments, if you got anything that you want us to talk about on our channels individually or on our show together, feel free to leave some comments and any kind of feedback you want to give us, because we want to definitely be able to bring the most valuable content that we can to you, right, man?
Speak now or forever hold your peace. Come on, people, get live. We want to mix it up with you in the comments section, definitely, with legitimate stuff. If you tell me that I'm ugly, I'm not going to respond to that comment. I already know that.
And don't watch his last video if you don't like to watch bald people.
Hater.
I just had to brighten that up. Also, that's the reason why he's got his hat on, because he was going to go his bald style, but apparently his 40-degree house in Aurora, Illinois.
In the basement, man. It's cold down here. I don't know why. It just doesn't heat up. It's huge. It's a huge basement. Probably that's why.
Because you live in Iceland, man.
Basically feels like I'm in Iceland right now. I'm wrapped up in a blanket, bro.
I want to real quick on an ending note, just say to people, make sure that you guys are getting into cryptocurrency for the right reason. Make sure you're not being greedy. Be smart. Educate yourselves. Feel free to hit us up if you have any questions or any kind of concerns or need to know something. We both believe in the technology of cryptocurrency and the creative destruction that it's going to bring to the banking industry, to the fiat industry. And we're both freedom-minded people, and we want to see people break the system. And we believe in cryptocurrency as being that aspect. If something happens to our Litecoin and our Bitcoin tomorrow, we're both going to be a little bit sad about it. We're going to be a little bit sad about it, but we know in the long run that this technology is going to come out, and it has to be a long-term investment. I mean,
if Litecoin goes down to $5 tomorrow, I'll be sad, no question. But I know that this technology, this is what I believe in. This is what my hope for the future is. I don't know about you, whoever's out there watching, or you, Chris, but I am sick and fucking tired of the debt yoke that's been around my neck since the moment I came into this world.
So
I'm sick and tired of the central bankers just thieving, stealing, raping, pillaging people all over this planet. Since every single one of us that's alive right now has been here since their birth. You've got to be sick and tired of this. You've got to be angry. You've got to be tired of working 2 jobs, watching your bills, watching your groceries, everything rise, and you're not getting raises or raises that will match what the cost of living is rising. You have got to be sick of it. And tell me in the comments, give me one thing that you have that has a better chance of taking out the banksters than cryptocurrencies. I'm all ears. If you got something better, I'm all ears.
I love gold and silver, but I definitely don't see that as being that way out.
Gold and silver right now is owned by the rich.
That's what I'm saying.
A very small portion of society actually has physical gold or silver.
We don't have any other options. There's not
if you want to go to a gold and silver backed currency, well, the government's going to have to seize all the gold and silver from the rich people because they own it all. People, all the gold and silver is not owned by us, the little guys, the lower classes, the middle class. The middle class has a small fraction of what is actually in existence. Right. Not enough to back our currency. And
not only that, I mean, but when we go into it, cryptocurrencies, I mean, for the most part, especially like Litecoin and Bitcoin, there's a certain specific number of coins that are going to be out, period. Whereas there could be more gold in the ground, or like you talked about in another video, we could be getting into space and mining on asteroids or going to other planets and getting gold other ways. So
gold is not as rare as people believe it is. Look at the diamond markets, okay? Diamonds are everywhere. But what the companies do, like De Beers, they go around, they take all the diamonds, they put them away, they lock them up. If somebody finds a diamond, has a diamond mine on their property, they come, they knock on your door. They say, all right, we're going to buy this property from you, or we're going to buy your mine. And if you say no, well, I want to sell my diamonds on the open market, what they'll do is they'll say, fine, fuck you then. And they'll flood diamonds into that market where you're at. And they will smash down the diamond price until the point where it becomes too pointless for you even to do it. So you will sell them. And then they'll mine that diamond mine, they'll put it all in security in vaults, and they hold on to it because they fix the prices.
Right.
They fix the prices on gold too. There's a lot of gold that still hasn't been mined. And they also fix prices in gold and silver in the paper markets where people don't take delivery of their bullion or their coinage. So it's all traded in paper contracts, and the COMEX is leveraged 40-1. So
right, I know.
Keeps the prices down. That's why silver's at only $15. It's ridiculous. That's why gold's been kept down.
Which is why we believe that cryptocurrency is going to be our way of being able to break out of that system.
Right, because cryptos are not controlled by JP Morgan and Chase. That's why their CEO, Jamie Dimon, came out and was calling Bitcoin a fraud for a year. And now all of a sudden he's changing up his statements of the past.
Right. I might have been wrong.
Yeah, but he's more common on blockchain because he wants blockchain. They want to cut out all their fees, but they want centralized blockchains.
Well, JP Morgan's a part of the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance.
Yeah.
And they've been a part of it. And it's crazy. The whole time they were a part of this, he's down in Bitcoin.
Chris, they're all full of shit.
I know. They're criminals, man.
They're fucking criminals in suit and ties.
It's
and everyone,
crazy.
If you go turn on MSNBC, like, it's hilarious. They look at this guy like he's God. And everything he says, they got their little notepads out writing it down. He's a fucking criminal.
It makes me sick, dude. It makes me so sick.
Dude, what they did to Lehman Brothers in the crash, when JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs strangled and crushed Lehman Brothers had their bets on their books. And Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan lost all their bets on the housing market, and they refused to pay Lehman Brothers. And they strangled them out. Lehman Brothers is the one that went down for it all. It was basically a corporate hit on a company. They're criminals, bro. And there's a lot more people that are waking up these days, and thank God for that. But we still need a lot more waking up.
And dude, I mean, obviously, that's what we're here for. You know, people like me and you, you know, we're going to be able to help wake people up. I'm glad you said it like that, because to end this thing, man, if you've never seen the movie The Matrix, if you're not even familiar with this movie, watch it.
Sorry, I'm not trying to extend it, but did you hear what Keanu Reeves said today?
Oh, that Bitcoin's bad for the future of humanity or something?
I thought it said, I read some article, maybe it was clickbait, I don't know, whatever. It was hilarious, so that's why I clicked on it. But they said that he thinks Bitcoin could take down the New World Order. Or excuse me, he said cryptocurrencies could take down the New World Order.
Oh, no, I didn't see that. I thought he was saying something negative about it. I have to relook at that.
Who knows? It could be a bullshit article. I'll try to find it, and we'll talk about it later.
But the whole idea, I mean, I'm not going to go into the movie, but if you're familiar with the movie, you know what I'm talking about. If you've never watched the movie, you got to check it out, because once you come out of the Matrix and you actually truly wake up, you can't go back into it. You just don't want to go back into it.
No.
Unless you're what, you know, I call a sheeple, which is just somebody who just, you know, you're not even a person at that point if you're a sheeple.
My ultimate goal is next year when the Super Bowl is played again, that there's more people tuning in to one of our shows in the fucking Super Bowl, which is a bunch of grown men in pads smashing into each other for corporate America.
That would be what's up, man.
That would be awesome.
Be what's up.
And anybody who likes sports, I like sports too, man, but it's not a religious cult for me. Like, I have other things in my life that are more important. So
no, I feel you. I'm not a sports fan. I guess before we end it, Philadelphia did win the Super Bowl, so
they did. Congratulations to the Eagles, man. I think that was their first one, I guess.
If it was, or first one in a long time, I don't know. Like, I don't follow it just like you, so
yeah, I think it was their first one they've ever won.
Shout out to Philadelphia, or Cryptodelphia.
All you Philly people out there, my Bears will be there one day. hopefully. I'm gonna hold my breath though. But
The Bears.
anyway.
All right, everybody. On behalf of the Modern Guru, Mr. Philip Massey, and myself, Chris Rice, Rice Crypto, I want to thank you for tuning in to the Re-Evolution broadcast. We're going to have something coming to you next week. Please check out both of our channels individually on YouTube. We'll have our contact information down below. Hit us up on Facebook if you have any questions. I want to say to everybody, I love you. Peace, love, and freedom. Philip, I'll let you end this thing.
Closing statements here. Bald guys have feelings too, Chris.
Sorry.
Remember that. Also, I love you guys too, and just keep the faith. Fucking hodl. Peace out, everybody. Love you guys. Adios.
Much love.